as his father played receiver and defensive back for the Gators from 01 to 05. It's 89 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Monday is actually a good day. Yeah, because it's the beginning of training camp week. Monday, not always the best. You know, you enjoyed your weekend. You got to get back at it, all that kind of stuff. But listen, we make it easy for you on a Mocama Beer Company Monday. You'll learn to like Mondays with a good glass or pint of Mocama beer. They're up there in Fernandina Beach. We'll be telling you all about them with their 2 great locations in Nassau County. And we're going to be talking a bunch about the Jaguars, the rest of the National Football League, as training camp is just a couple of days away. Rookies reported at the end of the week. Vets in today, and now it's time to get to work. And I know, Big Search, you got to be fired up because we're going to attack it from every different angle, and it's not just one segment on one show. We're going to have this thing broken down to the hilt to try and see if we can't form us a little championship squad.
Absolutely. I love training camp now, not when I was playing. I knew it was a necessary means to get to the season.
Yeah.
6 weeks of hell, I used to call it back in the day, getting up at 5:30 in the morning. Sometimes you don't shower, you don't shave, barely brush your teeth. You go into the elevator with guys who smell as bad as you. You know, that kind of stuff,
Wait a
that
second.
camaraderie.
You definitely shower.
No,
It depends
not
on
at times.
it depends. It depends if I got one in late that night. Sometimes you shower at night, so in the morning you don't have to wake up and get one.
Yeah, I get that.
So you can sleep a little later.
I get
Well,
that.
I definitely shower.
But you never went like extensive hours.
All
right, come on, bro.
I'm not a pig, bro.
Now, when it comes to the camaraderie thing, Leon, were you
Yeah.
guys doing things such as matching tattoos or ear piercings?
But not a couple. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. I heard Chris Webber say that's what some guys did in the NBA.
That's basketball. We don't do that kind of
RJ,
stuff.
they don't bang like that in the NBA, man. Come on.
We don't do that kind of stuff in the NFL, bro.
Okay, I'm just asking.
They just run around and shoot threes
we're
now.
men.
I'm an innocent bystander,
We're
man.
men's men, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Matching earrings.
All you do is you make rookies sing for you and
There
go
you
get
go.
chicken.
Right.
Yes.
Bring donuts.
Yeah, you know, the hazing part.
Yeah.
That's the fun
They
part.
don't even run screens anymore in the NBA. They're so soft. You kidding me? It's just threes. That's all it is.
Totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
Totally different. By the way, as we do mention hoop, did anyone know, could you point out Sudan on the map?
No,
Before
but
they almost beat these United States?
they gave him the business, though.
South Sudan 101 to 100.
They gave him the business.
Yeah, they did.
They did. I mean, it had me a little nervous there for
And
me.
by the way, they had a couple of shots at the rim with those precious seconds at the end.
And do you know in
Sudan.
Sudan, you know, they don't have any indoor gyms in the Sudan. Did you know that? All their gyms are outdoors.
I did not know
I
that.
wouldn't doubt it at all.
Yeah, for real. I mean, they play hardcore basketball in the heat.
Hunger.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they play
It was a great story for them. It really was.
Absolutely.
United States is going to have their work cut out for them. That's for sure. All right, we look back over the weekend. That will definitely be included. The Open Championship, Xander Schauffele wins now 2 majors after being really just kind of turned away for a variety of reasons. Not like he played poorly in the end and choked away a major or anything like that. He never really did that. He had a very solid record at the Open coming into this weekend. And before he won the Wanamaker Trophy at the PGA, everyone said this cat's the best to have not won a major. And here we are at the end of the major championship season, about to begin the FedEx Cup playoffs, and Xander's holding 2 really big trophies.
If I'm not mistaken, first time since '82 the Americans swept the majors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I want you to keep that in the back of your hat because you know that'll be a little questionable later on this week. So I like the fact that you were on top of that.
On top of it, baby.
Yeah. And they, by the way, NBC, Hicks and the boys did a great job going back and showing us what happened in 1982 and how far back you have to go the last time Americans held every major championship trophy. It was Michael Jordan winning a college basketball title. It was Wayne Gretzky scoring, I don't remember what the total number of goals were, 91, something in that neighborhood.
Right.
Is that what it was? Set the record? Just anyway, you go back and you think about, and by the way, just to put it in a golf and local perspective, the last time Americans held every major championship, they also held the Players' Championship for the first time at the stadium course. Jerry Pate won with an orange golf ball. That was the very first year that it was staged there at the stadium course. So that's just crazy.
When he hopped in the lake.
Yeah. That's when he hopped in the lake with Dean Beeman and Pete Dye, and the classic line that you always hear, "You are going for a swim today," and they jumped into the lake left of 18.
So I think all the red, white, and blue is fantastic. I mean, isn't the obvious question right now, Rory?
Well, I don't
missed
even know
the cut and just
he played terribly. I guess it still is a major question. Certainly not going to say that you're wrong at all, because Rory went from a 2-shot lead.
That's what I mean, after that meltdown.
Right. He went from a 2-shot lead, help me out here, with 4 to play. Does that sound right? Or maybe it was either 4 or 3, but I believe it was 4 to play with a 2-shot lead.
At the U.S. Open.
To basically, we now know he unraveled there, then stepped away from the game, took time off, came back, did okay at the Genesis Scottish Open, did okay. And I have to go back and look, but I think he was top 15 there. Might have even top 10'd it. And so he comes in to Royal Troon, and his presser earlier this week was like, he basically said something or early last week, something to the effect of, you think you got to step away and then you start to miss it. And he goes, I was really eager to get back out. And then he did that. I mean, I'm not arguing with you. I think the biggest story right now is who's the best player in the game.
I agree with that, but I think my point is, and you can check me on this, I believe this is right. Going into the U.S. Open, no one had played better Saturday and Sunday golf in the majors than Rory over the last, I think, 5 or 6 years, all right?
It had been really solid.
So his last 40 holes in major golf have been horrendous.
Yeah. And by the way, he holed out a shot late, and he couldn't help but just laugh.
Right.
Because it was just like, this is ridiculous. It might have helped him to get back to 13 over or 12 over or whatever. And just to give you an idea, the number that he had was Tiger-like.
Yeah.
That's the type of performance. And Tiger, we know, struggled mightily. And you can understand and maybe even anticipate that. But you cannot understand Rory struggling the way he struggled. And everything just went wrong in the worst imaginable way for him. And he just couldn't get it done. And Bryson DeChambeau struggled, and a handful of other guys struggled. There's no question about it. He wasn't alone there. But it is true that there was a time when he went into this Open from 2014 to 2024. I believe he had played in 8. He had missed one because I think he was sick or injured or something, and missed the other one because of the pandemic. It just wasn't played. So I believe he played in 8, maybe even 9. 8 Opens. He was 54 under total. He had 5 top 5s at the Open in his last 8 starts. So hell yeah, he was balling. And then this one he just went completely wrong. All right, so you guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. If you're looking at both of those guys, Scotty had his opportunities. He just couldn't keep it going. There were some really other good stories. Shane Lowry had a chance, and he did spit the bit on Saturday because he had control of the tournament and then just played just terribly down the stretch on Saturday when he had a chance to really kind of jet away from the rest of the field. Couldn't do it. Pulled a lot of guys in. Billy Horschel has the 54-hole lead, former Gator, and I'm thinking to myself as he goes into Saturday night, puts his head on the bed, he's like, I got a chance to win a major. I'm a former FedEx Cup champion. I've won a handful of others, but this stage, and he had to be nervous, he played okay. He just didn't play as well as Xander. Made birdie, I want to say he made birdie on one, but then had a couple of bogeys, and he was struggling until he got down the stretch and then at least found a couple of birdies to tie second. So he played his fanny off, but just did not get it done. Xander played so well. And he basically, his game, anywhere he goes, he can take on that golf course with confidence and know he can win. So it's a good story. It really was. All right, so some other stuff over the weekend. We can definitely drill down on all of those, but let's start looking ahead with your Jaguars and start thinking about some of these position battles. If you go through it, Leon, you can easily look at a bunch of candidates to come in and compete for starter spots. But we always arrive at the same conclusion. There's only so many of those starter spots up for grabs. But I want to see good competition this go around.
Yeah, I think the most intriguing battle, the more so obvious battle is going to be Walker versus Cam. That's going to be must see. Number one. Because, you've got to find your backside protector in camp, whether it be Cam Robinson or maybe it be Walker Little. And if I'm Walker Little coming into camp, and I keep saying it, I either got to win or I got to ask for a trade. I mean, there's no way, because I can't sit behind, especially because he's a young, talented. He has a possibility. He's a young talent, has a possibility to be a phenom. But if he doesn't get the time, he doesn't get the appropriate time, he's never going to get the exposure to warrant the money that he's going to ask for next year. And the last thing he's 6'7", 325. He cannot be a swing tackle. He's got to either start or he's got to find another home someplace. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those guys battle. I love offensive line play anyway, so I'm going to be watching the one-on-ones and all that kind of stuff right there. And when they're in team and they're going up against the defense, if I'm Walker Little, I want Josh Allen and I want Trayvon Walker every day in practice.
Yeah, but I think the question is, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around this, is when he started out there, he's played well. That's number one. Number two, I don't know that it's going to – I mean, you think it's going to be a competition. I think Cam is their guy. Well, from everything they've said in the offseason, Cam is the guy.
Well, I mean, listen. If Cam is the guy, then I got to talk to my agent. I've got to make myself a home someplace else.
Tell everybody why. It's his money.
It's his money. Absolutely. Well, swing tackle money. And
he's in the last year of his contract.
Last year in this contract. I mean, if I don't have, if they're not giving the opportunity to compete for the position,
right?
Then me and my agent have got to have a conversation. We got to go.
And look, you do have to come to the realization, though, he's being given a chance to compete. He just ain't winning, either because the other guy, they're paying him too much to sit on the bench, which we know could be a possibility, or he's beating him out. So those are really the only two. And I do agree with you that he may be looking at this and going, you know what? It's stacked against me because they're paying that big salary to Cam. They're not going to sit him down. So I get that part of it. But the other part of it is, what about during this offseason if he said, mindset, goal, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at you, and I'm coming to get your job. That would be great if that's how it unfolds.
Yeah, because if that's the case, both players are going to get better. They're going to absolutely get better. I mean, if they're competing like that, they're competing like that. But the loser entail. Listen, the Jaguars are in a situation financially where they can't let $16 million sit on the bench. They can't. Now they would love to have a situation where Cam plays out this year. He's the swing tackle. Cam leaves. They don't restructure his deal, and then they sign Walker. But are you willing to wait?
Right.
Are you willing to trust that they're going to do something like that? You can't. If I'm his agent, no, I can't take your word for it. Either my client's going to be playing for you this year, or he needs to move on to another team.
Yeah. And as training camps unfold, there might be a development here or there. Either a guy ain't playing well, and they've got to make sure that they get a guy to protect their quarterback, or there is an injury and a guy goes down. All those things are possible. But the best thing you can use as an example of how you want to go into a contract negotiation, either as a starter versus a backup, just look at Jawan Taylor. Look at what he got. He had the best thing for Jawan Taylor in his 4 years here is that he played a ton, and he started every game, and he stayed healthy multiple seasons. But he wasn't necessarily a great right tackle, and he walked into an $80 million deal.
Yeah, he got paid because he has film. He absolutely has film. Walker Little has what? Eight starts.
Right? 9 starts?
Not a lot to warrant a team paying you $80 million, $100 million. Absolutely not enough. He's got
no, but certainly enough for a team to trade for him. A team that needs a left tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A team to trade for him. In training camp, it's brutal. Guys go down. You never know. Guys could go down, and some teams say, "Hey, listen, Jacksonville, You know, we'll give you a this, and that for Walker Little trade or whatever. He might get draft capital out the kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm Walker Little and I'm a young, up-and-coming left tackle, I can't sit the bench again this year.
Yeah.
And no more of those experiments with me inside. I told you that was going to be a bad thing when they moved him to guard. 6 plays into it.
First series,
he's out. I say that's just.
The thing that it just drove me crazy because I understand the whole mindset of I got to have my best 5 out there. I totally get it. But when you put a guy in a position where he hasn't been, and we always describe the interior, what goes on between guard, center, guard up against those interior defensive linemen. That's, what is it, bowling balls and butcher knives. It is physical battle inside. It's
not college football where you put your best 5 in the field. You just can't do that in the NFL. You can't be moving guys around.
But look, we heard that a bunch, and I'm just thinking you got to have the best guys that play that position.
Absolutely.
And that may be Ezra when it's all said and done, at least for this particular year. With the franchise. All right, so you guys jump in. 641-1010. We'd love to hear from you. Mocama Beer Company Monday. Every single day they're serving coffee 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday. You can enjoy the delicious craft beer that they've created there. You can find them on the shelves at ABC and Total. You can head to Mocama Beer Company, South 8th in Fernandina, and look for their Wildlight location also up in Nassau County. It is XL Primetime getting cranked on a Monday.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
What are you doing? You touched that switch and... Which one, this?
1010.
More power.
1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Save money while beautifying your home with Renewal by Andersen with their energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Their exclusive Fibrex product is chic, tough, easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Right now, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free, plus 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
You've got questions, and so do we. 1010XL gets you answers from the coaches and players at ACC Kickoff. Fantastic. Brought to you by
Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park
and the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Beard's Diamonds' incredible Christmas and July sale is back.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 40% off.
But it's only happening till July 31st.
Don't shop anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light or a Natty or an Ultra. Maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we are looking for top talent to join our team. If you are a plumber, CDL driver, or have experience installing septic drain fields, come join Duck Duck Rooter and let's win together. We offer our players a full package that includes excellent weekly pay, paid holidays, health insurance, and new state-of-the-art equipment. Log on to DuckDuckRooter.com and click on the careers page to apply. That's DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is an equal opportunity employer.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So Pete Thamel of ESPN is reporting that Florida State will not tell the ACC that they are leaving in 2025. They will play 2025 in the Atlantic Coast Conference, which is another kind of a indicator of where things are headed as far as the idea of can they get out? Will they have a landing spot? Will it be the landing spot that they hope, which I think is also a huge question. It's interesting. Now, let's also be honest that something could happen over the next 4 months, and part of the negotiations of separation could be we're not playing in 2025. Mm-hmm. But as of now, I think the process, they thought the process would be much further along than it is right now, and it's not. And I think that has a couple reasons. I think the court process isn't where it should be in their eyes. Mm-hmm. It's not further along. And more than anything, they're now starting to get a little intel about what's going on as far as their abilities to land in one of the two mega conferences, either the Big Ten or the SEC, and it doesn't look good, neither one of them.
Well, and so much has to happen, like you said. It doesn't mean nothing's definitive right now. I think that's the way you got to understand this. The ACC kickoff on this week. Jim Phillips trying to defend his turf, the entire Atlantic Coast Conference, not just Tobacco Road. That includes any coast, and 17 teams now, right? 17
every coast, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not every coast yet. It's not the Gulf Coast yet. It's almost every coast.
Every border, everything. But anyway, it still doesn't mean that they can play, will play, or won't play next year. It just means they're basically saying that they won't let them know what they're doing.
So they walk back unscathed, unpunished. They embarrassed the league. They got drawn attention to the league in a negative way. Tried to take other people with them out of the league. and then they just walk back. So you remember the Godfather would say, "You don't never go against the family."
Never go
Never
against the family.
go against the family. So give it to me. I told you what my punishment would be off the air. I said, make them independent for a year.
So
good luck with the money.
It would be financially reckless of the ACC to try and punish them. That's number one.
Right, because Florida State
is the ACC.
It puts eyeballs on the conference.
And frankly, I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying, but they're not going to do that. They're not that crazy. But it certainly is looking better for them. I'll tell you that. It's at the very least in the court of public opinion, it's looking for better for them. And then also with all these, we keep seeing stories, and I've been saying this now for a couple of months. It's the idea of them joining the Big Ten is not. See, here's the problem. I'm going to give you guys a little backstory, okay? These Florida State fans are going crazy about going to the Big Ten because there's this nut on Twitter who is saying it's a done deal. It's a done deal. He has Big Ten sources. He's been connected with the Big Ten for years, and it's done. And every time a negative story comes out negative to him and his projection, he moves the bar. He moves it back a little more. Well, we knew this was going to happen. The latest now is, well, it's academia. Everything moves slowly. And Florida State fans are like betting everything on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, from everyone I've spoken to, from everyone Brett McMurphy's spoken to, from other reporters in the business, it's not what they think it is, okay? Florida State is seen as a disruptive partner for what they're doing with the ACC, and that's not enticing for these university presidents. This is not about just, hey, football games, eyes on football games. Of course they want them.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just that, of course Florida State would have a spot somewhere. It's not just that.
Yeah. And I do believe that when you're right now, when you're trying to posture whichever direction you're heading in, you're not going to give up anything. The ACC is not going to give up anything. Florida State has had their battles in two states, two different courtrooms, trying to figure out exactly what they're going to be able to do. Clemson, the exact same thing. And so this is the business and maybe even the boring side for a lot of people because they just want to talk about football. But it's real when it comes to finances and it comes to longevity.
Court cases. They still have to win the court case.
Yes.
Or if you don't win the court case, pay them $600 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can get out. You can get out without winning the court case, but it's going to cost you almost $750 million.
Yeah. Well, almost 2/3 if you're just doing the simple math.
Right.
So
but
over half of
three-quarters sounds better.
You're like my wife. You just went straight to $750 million. 600.
It's like when you're buying a house, Come on, 3/4, 60, whatever.
But it's not an easy situation. And we'll argue about this forever. They felt like they were in a desperate situation.
Yes.
And they needed to basically
and frankly still
try and throw the first punch and try and land the first punch.
100%.
And Clemson, I'm not quite sure where they are in this because they're a pretty powerful entity too. They're just not making as much noise. At least it doesn't seem like.
I 100% agree with what their thought process, that it's an untenable situation. 100% agree. All right? But I also think they could have gone about it a different way. They could have said, look, before we get into a situation where we're in court in two different states, before we get into a situation where we're suing you to get the contract with ESPN, then we're going to make it public and you're going to see how bad it looks for your former commissioner. Before we get into all that mess, come up with a legitimate revenue-sharing plan where Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia, and I'd even throw the Canes in there, Miami, get the majority of the money in the league. And if the other guys don't like it, tough. Go to the American Conference then. Do you still want to be part of a big league where you have access to the playoff, more access than you would in a group of 5 conference? Then stay here and deal with it.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots in terms of if you play the hand and you get completely left out, well then, you just went from Power 4 to Group of 5. That is no bueno. That is just every way bad. But at the same time, they still feel like they have football clout and that they needed to try and force the hand somehow, some way for something to happen. Now, this is the classic musical chairs that they look like they're getting left out. And there's no question that there's not a lot that they can do.
Here's another thing real quick, Leon, if I may. Jim Phillips isn't like this holier-than-thou guy in this, okay? He easily could have said, let's figure this out. But instead, he stood there and said, nope, granted rights. You know what I mean? So he's at fault as much as the Florida State and Clemson are at fault. If they could have just sat down in a room for a week or whatever and said, look, let's do X, Y, and Z as far as sharing this revenue. The new playoffs coming out where it's $1.2 billion annually every year. We're going to have at least 2 guaranteed spots in that thing come 2026. You guys can make X amount if you have a great team and you get to X point in the playoff. You might get close to $80 million.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, they should have sat down and like worked this out instead of just standing in lines and acting like 2-year-olds. No, this is what I'm doing. No, this is what I'm doing.
No, that's why I was exactly going to ask you. I mean, if they had just sat around and waited for the amount of money they're going to make in the playoffs, I mean, it could reach up to the money that they would.
Close,
yeah,
sure.
close to the
Absolutely.
money. Yeah, so
and if you're Florida State and you're in the same state as Florida, and that's your issue, and that is their issue, they don't want their main rival in the state of Florida to make double what they make. If Florida still is in a situation where they can't find a coach and they're going 6-6 and 5-7, and you're getting to the playoff and getting to the third round or getting to the semis or the championship game, you'll make as much or more than $80 million.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do
with the revenue sharing, by the way,
right,
with revenue sharing.
Yeah, exactly. And you know as well as I do that they can look at that part of it, but they're still getting dwarfed financially by a lot of other schools that are right here in your geographic footprint, kicking your butt in your recruiting budget and everything you're able to do. That would be Alabama. That would be Georgia. That would be on and on and on. And so that's what they're most mad about, is that it limits your ability. It's revenue sharing does not exist. We totally get that conference to conference. It stays within one conference. They just look at it and go, how the hell are we the Power Four? And we're the weakest of the bunch financially.
Well,
that's what they're looking at.
The problem is the ACC a little more than a year ago, they shot it down. And they gave them this kind of idea of, well, if you win the championship, you're going to get extra money. They shot down the whole idea of revenue sharing because Jim Phillips didn't think FSU would sue him to try to get out. He thought, well, they're going to owe $600 million or nearly $750 million, as Joe says. He didn't think that would happen. So he stood ground like the 2-year-old. And then the 2-year-old on the other side of the room said, oh, yeah, watch this. And then they went to court. So this obviously could have been figured out if they'd have just grown adults would have got into a room and said, look, the other 12 or the other 13 or however many there are now, it's 5 minus what? They're at 17 now. The other 12 are going to be pissed off. I don't care. They can go back to being in the American. They can, Stanford and Cal can go back to being an independent with Wazoo and Oregon State. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. We're giving these 5 schools more money than you.
That sounds like he's stumping for the Big Ten.
I'm trying to keep the ACC alive is what I'm trying to do.
Well, look, you've laid it out, though, that the commissioner might have screwed this up just as much as anybody else.
Of course he did, yes.
So that, to me, that is a neg. That's for sure when you think about it. All right, let's get back to training camp battles. Let's talk about Cam v. Walker, how you feel about it. 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Do you think Walker Little can beat out Cam Robinson? Are you feeling good about that? Or do you think Cam's got left tackle position on lock? Let us know. Mokama Beer Company Monday. It is XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Leon Searcy. You can call them the All-Pro, especially after they released the throwback unis last Thursday with that killer video.
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Summer on the First Coast. The heat, the beach. 1010XL. Now that's hot. Get your radio on.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. It's hot, so let's talk about something sizzling. Making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. Yeah, flexitarian. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did and Mike Dempsey and Hacker and more than 21,000 others have. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This is Dr. George Bari inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 22nd, 1923, Washington Senators' future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Walter Johnson becomes the first to reach 3,000 career strikeout milestone.
Pickett here. Brace for hurricane season with our friends at Rhino Shield. Their home exterior coatings withstand 96-mile-per-hour wind-driven rains, keeping your home safe and dry. Rhino Shield's advanced ceramic technology also helps keep your home cooler and reduces your energy bill. This summer, take advantage of their 30% off, 0% interest financing offer, plus a 25-year warranty. Call Rhino Shield, 414-4868. That's 414-4868 for a free estimate, or visit rhinoshieldjax.com. That's rhinoshieldjax.com.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind. Brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
Jake Paul wins by TKO.
I think that's the one.
Now right hand. This may be it. Right hand. And he's down for a third time.
The jab set up the left hook.
Oh. And now wave it off. There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
David Jones with the cross and the punch over the Celtics defender lights up Vegas during the Summer League.
Approaching 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Jones
crossed over. And injects it with the right hand.
That's Ironman again.
Xander Schauffele wins the Open Championship for his second major title of the year.
Just about a stress-free championship major Sunday that you will ever see. Xander Schauffele in at 9 under, 65. His second major championship.
All hail the king. LeBron James comes in clutch for Team USA in the final moments against Sudan.
Cole all over Steph. LeBron drives for the lead. He puts it in. With 8 seconds remaining.
Yeah. USA.
All hail the king.
USA. What, are you rooting against them?
Oh,
Come on.
You need a last-second shot to beat Sudan, which doesn't even have indoor basketball courts.
Yeah, it's not a good situation right now for the American basketball team. They're going to have the fight of their lives to win a gold this year. That is for sure. Still, it's America against the rest of the world. Paris starts Friday night, and I think the torch will be in the hand of one LeBron James. Or is he carrying the flag?
Yeah, he's carrying the flag, I believe.
The flag.
Yeah.
Okay, he's bringing the flag in.
Is he carrying the flag?
Yeah. I get him carrying the flag, bro.
They voted on him.
That's surprising.
What is wrong with that? Is he
Does
the
flag have LB on it, or is the American flag?
Yeah, it's going to be the American flag.
Right.
He's the first men's basketball player to bear the flag in U.S. history.
Yeah. Why?
Because if anybody should, it's got to be LeBron, man.
They voted on it, not him. My gosh,
Did
man.
they?
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did.
All right.
I tell you what, I recognize greatness. I enjoy watching it as opposed to just constantly railing against it.
I mean, if you're voting on it, why wouldn't it be Jason Tatum then?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about over time, still regarded as one of the best. If you had to put your money down between LeBron and Jason Tatum, a little one-on-one, how would it go?
I'd probably take LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
The guy has done more in the last 4 or 5 years in his late 30s. It's just incredible what he's been able to do.
If you're going to tell me LeBron against like an in-shape Luka, I'd take Luka. But the problem is going to be getting Luka in shape.
I was going to say, we may never get to there. May never get to that point. That's for sure. All right. Speaking of getting to that point, if you did not have a very good weekend, a dull weekend, in fact, head to Cycles of Jacksonville. You can check out everything that they've got brand new on the water from Honda, along with Coach Pontoon Boats. And as Greg always says, this ain't your daddy's pontoon. These are cool, killer pontoon boats. And then Honda with the beautiful Scout hull and that Honda technology. You can get on the water. You can go off-road, on-road with Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. All right, so let's get back to the Jaguars camp battles and where we think it's going to unfold. And I know that we're going to have to see a lot, Leon, before we know for sure whether or not Walker Little is poised, ready to take Cam's spot. But let's just stay there for one more second. At least the word is Walker Little has had an outstanding offseason. Outstanding. Putting in the work, attention to detail, the type of stuff you did when you rose to Pro Bowl level. Can he do it?
Oh, of course he can do it. He has all the capabilities. We've seen the sample size of him on the 8 games, but in those games he's played, especially that playoff game against against the Chargers, I mean, he went against Khalil Mack, and he pretty much manhandled him the whole game. You know, his thing is that he has a tendency to play a little high, miss with his hands, whatever. Some of those things are very fixable and coachable, but he's just got to show more consistency, and he can't get hurt. And I'm not surprised. Contract year, you've got incentives now. You got incentives to go out there and ball out and ball hard. So he's going to make it very tough on Cam, I think.
But it's in this camp, in this situation, with this franchise, that they are in this is clearly a crossroads season. He has to be way better than Cam to win that job. It can't be like, well, he's better than Cam right now, so I think we're going to play him. He's got to be like, whoa, he's better than Cam.
Absolutely.
Right?
To the point where they have to sit Cam or trade Cam.
Right. To where they know, without a doubt, 100%, they're better off with him in there. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
And that's a lot. Yeah. He's got to have a phenomenal camp.
And you got to also look at who's he protecting. He's got 275.
275.
The backside, baby.
Yeah,
you just paid your franchise quarterback a boatload of money. You got to make sure his backside is protected.
So my point is, I guess, and you can speak to this, is a lot of times in battles, position battles, you'll hear a coach say, they were so close, but we kind of just feel like, X player is the guy we want to go with. That's not going to – he has to be way better than Cam, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He has to be way better than Cam. And, Trevor Lawrence factors in as well, because if he feels a lot more comfortable with one guy than the other, I'm sure he's going to be vocal, especially with his blind side having to be protected. Right now, if I was a betting man, I think he feels more comfortable with Cam. Yeah. I really do. I really believe that he feels more comfortable with Cam.
And let's not forget, one of the injuries that Trevor suffered was when a defensive lineman, interior lineman, albeit, just walked Walker a little back into
That's
Trevor.
That being high part. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because he does. He
has a tendency, yes, absolutely.
And look, as big as he is, and he is a specimen, he looks very athletic and all that type of stuff, but the last thing that needs to happen to you from an offensive lineman standpoint is get stood up.
Well, I tell offensive linemen, even when I mentor them, high school, college, I say, listen, if you're 6'7", you can't play 6'9". You got to play 6'4".
Yeah.
You got to bend your knees.
Great way to put it.
Absolutely. You got to stay low. Low man wins in this game.
And when you just simply look at lines of scrimmage and you look at the moment of the snap, the defensive linemen, they're digging in. Their head, generally speaking, is lower than the offensive lineman's helmet, right? And so, boom, they're coming up. So they already try and gain leverage, and then you just got to be the better technician and move them quickly with your hands and your punch. Well,
I tell offensive linemen, you got to pick a spot where you want because what you have to do is your kick foot's got to split the guy in half. So when you go up to the line of scrimmage, you got to already, depending on if he's a 5, 7, or 9, you've got to already pick a spot to where you know that you're going to intersect with him, and then where your kick leg is going to cut him in half. Because when your kick leg cuts him in half, that means you're giving him you're protected with your right hand and you're protected with your left hand, whether he goes upfield or he comes inside.
He doesn't have an advantage one way to the left or the right side. That's what you're saying when your kick leg is right in the middle. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're forcing him to make a decision.
You ultimately want him to have to run you over. That's crazy to say, but it is true. It is, because you don't want to get beat around the corner.
Right.
All right. By not kicking enough, then you don't want to get beat inside. So you ultimately, this is how crazy being an offensive tackle is. You literally want the guy to have to run into you, and you hit him with your hand.
And I was going to say, and for you, that's what you wanted because of your hands. You used your hands.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
In such a small sample size, I'd have to look up the total number of Cam. I'll do that in just 1 second. But anyway, less than 660 snaps from Walker Little, and he's entering a contract year. So it's not like he has played a ton. All you got to do is count up an average of 60 plays a game. And you can do the math. But 659 is the total, and at least according to PFF, that's 56th among tackles that are out there right now. Only 7 penalties and only 2 sacks. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you haven't seen enough to know 100% if you've got your guy.
And that's the biggest issue right now. I've seen him out on, I've seen him doing mini camps, seen him doing OTAs. He's a big human being. All right. He's 6'7", 3 something. So and he's very athletic. He moves fluently out. He transitions well out of his stance, coming off the ball and with his pass protecting. His whole thing is he just needs more seasoning. You know what I'm saying? He just needs more seasoning. He needs more reps, not only in practice but in game time situations. For me to be comfortable. Because I'm going to tell you what the coaching staff is going to be doing. They're going to be evaluating these two guys every day in practice. Every day. They're going to have those team meetings, talk to the offensive line coach, how they're looking, how they're this and that. They're going to watch film. Because, it's the second most important, in my opinion, the second most important position on the offense side of the ball is the left tackle.
Yeah.
Protecting Trevor Lawrence's black side.
And even though he had less than 660 in terms of total snaps, with Cam's suspension and injury, Cam played less. And that's why they had to juggle everything around towards the end, he was right at 535 snaps. Gave up 3 sacks, had 3 penalties. So Walker had more penalties than he did, but also gave up 1 last sack and more snaps.
And Walker shouldn't be a fan of Cam's either, because Cam's suspension forced the Jaguars' hand to go get a right tackle.
Yeah.
You know, they had to go get Anton Harrison and move him to left, and then ultimately he was moved out when Cam got healthy. So,
right, because right now you'd have Walker Little with a full season at right tackle.
There you go.
And then you could have easily let Cam walk this offseason. You're moving Walker there.
Absolutely.
It's the suspension definitely contributed to a lot of uneasiness, not only last year but for the future as well.
And the other thing is with Cam, if you go back and you look at the last 3 years, 2020 played nearly 1,000 snaps. The next 2 years, 21 and 22, he averaged about 900 snaps. He was down in terms of overall sacks and penalties. Decent number, not a great number, but a decent number. You don't want to be giving up 5 sacks, but still, at the same time, the best on that side of the ball defensively is coming after you at that left tackle position.
Plus, another thing with Cam, he can't afford to lose this job. He's in his last year. So he wants to play somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't afford to sit the bench either.
No.
I mean, this is going to be a very intriguing camp battle. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, how old is Cam? I mean, how old is Cam? Cam is good.
29,
29, 30, whatever.
Yeah, I'd put him right there.
Okay, it's 29, 30. So, I mean, he's stay healthy, 28 years old.
Okay.
So, I mean, it just depends on how much longer he wants to play. But he could play in this league as a starter or as a backup for the next
It'll be 29 in October.
5 or 6 years. Yeah, that's easy money right there.
Oh, yeah, and
he can be a starter for the next 4 or 5
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and you start taking a look at some of the tackle money. Once it gets, if you do grade out well and a team has a liability at that position, you will get your coin.
Yeah.
You will get your bag.
I mean, listen, I've been hard on Cam because I just think that he could accelerate his career more by being better. Listen, I saw Cam his rookie year. Cam was a phenom his rookie year. And he's kind of teetered, but he had to deal with injuries and knees and all this kind of stuff. So Cam's solid. So, I mean, whether he's with the Jaguars or he's with some other team, I mean, he's going to be a viable commodity for anybody, to be quite honest.
Well, let me put it to you this way. The Chiefs, who will have with Wanya Morris now as their left tackle, projected starter, 3 straight years where they've had a different left tackle. If they get into camp and they're looking at Wanya Morris and they're like, yeah, not going to happen. You don't think they're going to be interested in either one of these 2 left tackles here?
Absolutely. And Jawan's familiarity with Cam, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if he vouched for him. They're still boys. I'm sure they talk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, so a couple of other ones real quick. And we do know that Brandon Sheriff has been dealing with injury, but he started all 17 games last year. If this can be a healthy offseason, a healthy training camp for him, he comes in. We know what happened in the interior part of the line. Mitch Morse, they changed Luke Fortner out for Mitch Morse. They're trying to make sure that they get better interiorly. They give Ezra Cleveland the contract. I don't see a lot of camp battles for those positions. I can see a Cooper Hodges maybe being groomed to challenge for Brandon Sheriff's spot going forward. But you want to talk about another expensive cat? Brandon Sheriff's money against the cap is pretty hefty.
Yeah, you're hoping one of those young cats come along, but he's not going to come along and take this position. But more than likely, at the end of the season, if you got somebody that you groomed well enough to where you feel that you draft one in April.
Yeah,
we're back on the guard thing. But if you groom one,
Javon Foster could end up being an interior lineman.
He could be, absolutely.
I don't know, man.
He is a big, fast-looking human being.
I think look. The reality is this offensive line is what it is. And those middle 3, if they don't have like career seasons, you're going to get what you had last year. You just are. And you're asking an aging guy like Sheriff, who was a great player when he was young.
Yeah,
he's an aging guy on the downside of his career. There's no doubt about that. The question is, how far down is he now? So if you don't have those 3 guys having career years, all of them, including Mitch Morse, who also is on the downside of his career, if he doesn't have a resurgence and Sheriff doesn't have a resurgence and Cleveland doesn't become this guy that can be a strong, consistent player, you're in the same situation in the middle 3 you were last year, which is why I was saying all along, draft a flipping guard in the 2nd round.
Yeah, well, and you listen, you hope and pray these guys stay healthy because the depth behind them is...
It's nothing, honestly.
It's nothing, bro. I mean, you got Shadley. And his greatest.
He's a try-hard guy.
Yeah, he is absolutely a try. But everything else is they're projects. Everybody else behind the middle three, you're gonna get Fortner back in there if Mitch goes down.
You don't want that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shatley. I mean, those are the type of guys that
you're not rolling Walker Little back in there.
No,
that's not happening.
Shatley's greatest strength is his strength.
Absolutely.
Better believe it. As one of our texters said, death, taxes, and Tyler Shatley starting by week 6. All right, we'll keep it going into the 3 o'clock hour. It's XL Primetime. Mocama Beer Company Monday. Don't forget, they've got it going if you want great craft, and we're talking Pilsners, stouts, fruited, sours, IPAs, lagers. You can go on and on and on. They've got them all. Check out Mocama.com, the Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina on South 8th and in Wildlight with their satellite location.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Fans first.
I was born a Jags fan, and I'm Duval till I die.
Jaguars pride forever.
Duval!
1010XL, home of the Jaguars. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Are you a meat lover searching for quality cuts? Southern Steer Butcher uses a vacuum tumbler to marinate and tenderize our chicken and world-famous steak tips.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Catch all the interviews and analysis of this year's ACC kickoff.
Sold-out crowd, Joe Campbell Stadium.
Coverage on 1010XL is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Local Union 234, and Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed.
Everything counts!
1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Raid wants to know, what would you do if you could confidently face every day knowing you and your loved ones are protected? Would you sing along to your favorite song at the top of your lungs? Turn off the GPS and let your heart do the guiding. Go to the drive-thru and order one of everything. Feel the buzz of confidence of knowing you are protected with 65 years of insect science in your hands. Raid. Protection for everyone.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer is here on the First Coast. You know, long days, short sleeves, and soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan, so do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. Fenwick has you covered with same-day service, including maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Book your expert tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns tomorrow. Plan ahead instead of hoping for the best. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp complete their first sweep since 2019 this past weekend against the Durham Bulls. 3 home runs and strong pitching helped the Shrimp to secure the 6-2 win. The Shrimp will get back at it on the road on Tuesday in Virginia as they take on the Norfolk Tides for a 6-game series. With training camp just around the corner starting tomorrow, the Jaguars have placed newly acquired defensive star Eric Armstead on the physically unable to perform list on Saturday. Jaguars reporter Demetrius Harvey spoke on Jaguars Today, believing Eric Armstead is currently their third pass rusher.
Eric Armstead's the third. I mean, realistically, he's probably going to be playing end a lot of the time. He's a guy that can come in. He can play inside, obviously. So to me, he's that third pass rusher. So he's really important. He's a guy that you need to sort of have on the field at all times almost, and you have to have him in that rotation.
It's 87 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Well, last week when we had Denny Thompson in, our quarterback whisperer, he said, this is it. This is the time. You pat him on the head. You send your little pups out into the world. Training camp right around the corner. Fall camp to come for the college players. And, yeah, it's on. It's happening. Right, Denny?
It is, man. It is. Today's the first day of a new week for us.
Yeah.
A little bit more chill.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Really
nice. Actually got to the gym this morning. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, it's funny because we mentioned it last week, at the end of last week, that Brock Purdy was spotted at Taco Lou. And, I love the Lou and Donnie and all those guys. And so that was probably one of his last, let's just call it a cheat meal. One of the good tacos and whatnot. Anyway, he had a nice little picture taken. Someone recognized him. And then he's jetting off to San Francisco or wherever they're training and getting ready for camp.
I will shout out Taco Lou right now because they have been amazing to us. We're there twice a week with guys.
Love the Lou.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And everybody that comes in town, that's where they want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's exciting, man. It's here. Like we still got some high school guys. They start, I guess, in next week or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna head to Athens on Saturday, and I'll be there until the 1st, and then after that, I'm pretty much like the rest of you guys. I'm waiting and watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just see how it unfolds from here.
Yep.
One of the stories, and Matt was just talking about a second ago, is just that Carson Beck won him over at SEC Media Days. For the most part, he looked like he had the polish, the poise, and everything like that. And gosh, man, Kirby gushed on him too.
Well, the Carson one is a very smart person, like extremely intelligent. He's not what I would call extroverted. Like he's not a talkative guy, anything like that. But at the same time, I think that he actually enjoys doing that stuff. I don't think he minds it at all. I think he enjoys doing it. I think he enjoys like the way people get to know him without the helmet on. And he's just natural at it. He's really good. He's easy to talk to. He's a very honest kid. Has always been very honest. So yeah, I mean, I think the sky's the limit on stuff like that for Carson.
Well, I'm sure Kirby, when he recruits, he preps those kids for that, for the NFL, the next level, because that's what we did in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy used to prep us for interviews and talking and all that other kind of stuff. He was basically, that was one of his mechanisms he used as far as recruiting goes. You come here, you're going pro. Yeah. Or you got the opportunity to go pro.
You know what's crazy, though, is now these days, if you're a 4-star, 5-star guy in high school, with all the different outlets that are out there now, like you kind of learn that at a young age, at an early age.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that because nobody's going to fault what a 16-year-old says. They understand they're 16 years old. It's a little different when you're 22, but I think by the time you get to Georgia, especially someone like Carson who was there for a while, you're good and mature by the time that spotlight's put on you, and I think you can handle a little bit better than maybe an 18-year-old who's never seen it before.
I got to give Baker Sports credit because they do the high school media day, and you're right. It's come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let me give you some Vegas lines out right now for the Davey O'Brien Award. Davey O'Brien is award that goes to the best quarterback. Typically, the Heisman winner will come out of the Davey O'Brien winner. Now, best odds right now are Dylan Gabriel at Oregon, 5-1. Carson's next at 6-1. Quinn third at 7-1. Locally, the next would be in the state, Cam Ward, 15-1. DJU 35-1. Graham Mertz 88-1. So
team success.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Then I told you this when I was at SEC Media Days last week, and I was with Carson. He's different, man.
Yeah,
you've been saying this a while. And I think you're starting to see it now. He's okay. The better way to say it is I think now it's publicly becoming more of a reality. He's a different cat.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to start to now move toward him as let's look at this kid, because his numbers, other than the 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, is not like we're like, whoa, there's a Heisman guy. Clearly, it's going to get better this year. He has the chance, I think, to be that type of rare guy that wins a national title, wins a Heisman.
Yeah, I when I think of him as being a little different.
And first overall pick in the draft, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean those are his goals. I mean that's the reason he came back. I'm not speaking for him. He said it publicly. Like I came back for these goals. Anything short of those is a disappointment. But what I see that's a little bit different in Carson than what we see in others, and we're very lucky we get to see a lot of them, is he just moves a little differently. When he walks in a room, you guys have been doing this a long time. Like there's guys that when they walk in, it just kind of feels a little bit differently. He's that guy. Like he walks in, he's got a presence about him. Has always been that guy. And it's not a snobbish, stuck-up. It's just it's very much the opposite. You feel like you can talk to him, but at the same time, he emits this seriousness that, all right, everything's not a joke. Like this guy is the leader of a franchise or a program or whatever it is. And I think that's like one of the biggest things he's got going for him.
I can appreciate the bling too. You saw the bling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this man's closet's elite.
Yeah,
like elite.
Matt was trying to count the diamonds.
He was trying to count the diamonds.
There's no way I was counting the diamonds in that watch. Trust me on that. The entire band was diamonds. The entire face of it was diamonds. No way, no chance.
I walked into his closet one time and just like walked right back out. It's like I don't, because all I'm gonna do, I'm just doing the math.
Mm-hmm.
I just see those shoes and I'm like, all right, I know. No, I need to walk out of here. Like this is too rich for my blood.
All right, on the field, real quick. We talk about this all the time, and coaches say this all the time. The biggest jump a player will make between his first year as a starter and second year as a starter. How big of a jump can we expect Carson to make?
I think a significant one. I think that happened last year, actually. I think there's a big difference in the way he played the first 4 games and the way he finished the season. You talk about the touchdowns and things like that. Like he didn't start off on fire.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it was his fault as much as it was Georgia trying to figure out who they were as a team and as an offense. But I think at this point, if you're Georgia, don't you have to have a good bit of confidence in that 15? You can win a lot of games on 15's arm. So I think for that reason, I think there will be a big jump as a group together. I think the world of their receivers. I think that they are loaded at the receiver position. So put it all on him.
And they're going to throw it around. You think they're going to throw it?
I think they are. I mean, it's Kirby, though.
Yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, it is Kirby.
Yeah. Halfway through the second quarter, he may just go, you know what? We can win this game 17-7. Just hand it off. Yeah.
You know, what was it last week? I saw on TV last week they interviewed Kirby Smart for the SEC conference, right? Mm-hmm. And Kirby said something I had never heard him say before. He said, you know what? You can learn from a loss. And I think the college football playoffs has put some of this. I don't like it. I don't like the stench. I like the playoffs, but I don't like the stench of coaches saying, well, you know, you can learn from a loss. That's the first time I've ever heard Kirby Smart say something like that. I mean, I love more ball, but I like my Kirby a little bit, you know, more tailored. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the. I ain't gonna say the softer Kirby, but I'm just saying. I just never heard Kirby say that.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll put it this way, because I heard Carson say this, so I will also say it. There was never really a decision on whether or not he was coming back. And that's where Carson and Kirby are identical, is the minute they lost that game to Alabama, about 10 minutes later, my phone rang, and it was him. And it was just simple, hey, we'll talk tomorrow, but we need to work on me coming back. I ain't going out like this.
Right, and he did it. The way he described it, he explained it perfectly. He said, you know, I couldn't say that right then, but I knew immediately that I was coming back. The other part of it, though, is that
But I'm sorry, just to piggyback off of what Leon was saying, strictly because of a loss now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happens if they win that game.
Okay, see, this is what I like, because we argued about it a little bit, because even though Kirby won't admit it, because he basically said pass is a pass. We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to use that as our fuel. I guarantee you, in his core, that loss will stick with him, and he will use it when he needs to use it, because he felt like they got shafted.
Man, they didn't play well. And I'm not taking anything against Alabama, but they didn't play well. Their tempo and their pace just never really got up in that game. And it was a game that I think if you're a Georgia fan, a Georgia player, a Georgia coach, you walked out going, how did that just happen? Like, how in the world did we just lose that game? Not taking anything away from Bama, but just we didn't put our best foot forward. And I, you know, we all have been around Coach Smart enough to know that that's not acceptable to him.
Right.
And so I'm assuming that this offseason has been a hell of an offseason for them boys in Athens. I'm sure they've gotten after it a little bit.
I mean, I'll tell you why they lost. They lost because of that dopey idea of 2 robbers on defense. They were so obsessed with Jalen Milroe running instead of just literally forcing him to throw the ball. Yeah. Beat me. You got to throw the ball to beat me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's a lot of X's and O's things, but I also think that Georgia's good enough and they feel like they're good enough that they should be able to flip a switch and just go, hey, we're going to dominate regardless. If we have to line up 11 on 11 and everybody just plays man free and that's the rule, we feel like we should win that game, right? And when you play against teams like Alabama back in your day at Miami, that's really, with those big games, that's kind of what it comes down to, right, is it's 11 on 11 and it's a brawl for 4 quarters. And most of the time, the nastier team, the more physical team, the more dominant team will come out ahead in those games.
Yeah, that's the reason why during those times when we had to play the Florida States, the Notre Dames, Michigan, the tempo in practice was just it was just crazy. It was like an assault on each other because we knew what we had to go through in those type of games. I mean, it was crazy.
And you knew they were doing that too.
Yes, absolutely.
That's, you start to get Georgia, Alabama. That's a heavyweight fight right now.
Yes. And by the way,
that first snap is violent, y'all.
Georgia.
You better be ready.
Yes, and Georgia's got at Texas, at Ole Miss, at Alabama, so they know it's strap-up time. And here's the other thing. He said it. He goes, I will never be the hunted. And so that's Kirby's mindset. And so he's going to foster that through all of his players, that don't you take a damn thing for granted.
Yeah.
You've got nothing, right?
It shows. It shows. Like, I mean, I've gotten to know enough of those guys up there over the course of the last 5 years that they definitely have Kirby's personality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is, they walk in that building and they go.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, it's like that everywhere. I mean, these are high-achieving individuals, but
well, kind of like Gator fans, or excuse me, Gator players, they eat up that Billy personality, same kind of
yeah. I mean, you identify, especially when you succeed. Especially when you succeed, because now you will believe in those workouts that you feel like you're going to die in.
Yeah.
And when they press up that pressure even a little bit more when you thought they couldn't, like there's a trust of, all right, these guys got 2 natties. They know what they're doing. If I do this, we can get another one. I think there's things that you can do when you win that you just cannot do when you don't win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kirby reminds me so much of Jimmy, because Jimmy left, and when in '88 we lost to Notre Dame. So what do you think before spring camp? What do you think they played? They played that Notre Dame game in our team meeting room.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised at all if Kirby played that Alabama game before spring.
September 28th in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Georgia at Alabama. I'll be there, man. I got chills right now just because I love good football, and when those two get together, man.
And the thing is I can't. Like we said, if we could get into Kirby's DNA, into the belly, into the gut, he would probably admit it. But it's how they decided to play. Is that sticking in his craw more, the actual loss, or getting denied a spot in the college football playoff by committee? Trying to figure out which one probably gets in his craw a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know, but to their credit, I mean, that was around the time that I was having a lot of discussions with him, because Carson was talking about coming back, and not one time did I ever hear anybody blame anything on a committee. It was, we lost that football game.
Yeah, and he was very clear about that. All right, so we'll keep it going. You'll hear Carson's comments coming up here in just a second. We got the quarterback whisperer with us for another seg. We'll try and hit a couple of other ones. Matter of fact, the voting, we were talking about this on Friday. I think it was 50 media members voted the quarterbacks. Where Carson was, you might find interesting, and who the other guys were. So we'll touch on that coming up. It is XL Primetime, a Mocama Beer Company Monday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
That's why I came up with this little beauty. What is it? It's
1010XL.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Preferred Roofing, a great group of people. That's number one. And then the construction game, it's tough to figure out at times. So you need people you can trust, and they certainly have been in this community for a long, long time. You look at that roof, and if it's time for a replacement, maybe insurance people starting to beat down the door saying, hey, we're going to raise your rates. Make sure you get a quality roof. They will answer all the questions, take you soup to nuts through the process, and make sure you get it right. PreferredRoofingJacks.com and PreferredBuildersJacks.com.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time.
take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're a Cabana side. Slade Hot Yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adults at a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
Anytime you've got major plumbing problems, and even the minor ones, there's several potential causes, and they usually can't be easily detected. So don't guess at a solution. Hire Roland Reese Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm Hacker. Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. Between increased flexibility, strength, and endurance, breaking 100 or 90 or even 80 could be just 40 pounds away. Get there this summer with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The reason for staying, but more about like the hardest part of me leaving would be leaving the locker room that we have and leaving the teammates and the connection that, you know, we've all built. That's probably the hardest part because it's a lot different once you go to the next level. It's not like college. And talking to guys that have been through it, that have gone to Georgia, that are now in the NFL. I mean, there's so many different guys that you can conversate with, and they're all just like enjoy it like while you're here because it's different once you get up there. And that ultimately was one of the biggest deciding factors. And then obviously the way the season ended last year, I mean, everybody always asks me, like, how difficult of a decision was it? And I tell them it was easy. Now, people might have thought it was difficult in the time because, well, I mean, I wasn't just going to say I was coming back off rip, but the second that we lost to Alabama, I knew that I was coming back.
It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
All right, Carson Beck played the long game there when he was sitting down with 1010XL because he finally said it. He goes, yeah, I was coming back. right away. I just couldn't say it. So we got Denny Thompson, Carson Beck's quarterback coach, our quarterback whisperer, but that doesn't surprise you at all. And when you hear him say it, just class all the way.
Yeah. No, he there was never a doubt. Never a doubt. I don't even think – I don't remember exactly when they announced that he was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it was the week of the Florida State game. But I want to say that we had pretty much had that thing sealed up for like 7 or 10 days before even that.
Yeah, like
it was a very quick process.
I remember us being on the air, and Denny's like, "It'll be coming out. Just wait.
Yeah, yeah."
Yeah, I mean, I understand what he says as far as NFL being different because you're in college. Most of the time, you're in college with guys freshman year, sophomore year, junior. I mean, you grow up with those guys. You know what I'm saying? You build relationships. Those your boys. That kind of, you share the dorm room and that kind of stuff. So when you get to the NFL, you're dealing with guys with money and stuff. So it is. I can understand what he's saying because with my first time in Pittsburgh, like who are these guys? Now I knew they were. I was in locker room, bunch of legends, but I was like, I don't really know these guys, man. So you got to appreciate it, your time.
How do you think that changes, though, as a quarterback when you're expected to come in there and kind of be, especially what looks like his case, a highly drafted rookie? Like you're expected at 20, he'll be 23 years old at that time to come in there and lead a locker room. Now, when I say lead, it's not a rah-rah thing. Right.
No.
It's a he's about his business type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Players know players, and when Freddie T came in his rookie year and we put him on the field, and he went 80 on our defense, we knew we had something right there. You know what I'm saying? We knew we had something right there. So Carson, when he goes out there and he throws that ball and they zipping it, through the defense and stuff like that, guys on the side are gonna say, "Okay, we got this one."
Yeah. It'll be fun.
It's that locker room. There are no sacred cows in that locker room. You're either good or you're not, and they all know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They know. They know who they're for ball and
they know who to follow. Like they will follow Carson this year. Like they're all in with him now, and I think the players and the coaches. Whereas last year maybe was a filling out process, was it not?
Yeah, no, I think for Carson maybe the greatest experience of coming back has been this offseason, of having an offseason with a little bit of money. A little bit of time, but a lot of expectations, right? Because he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that to the level that he's got it now, to where I am the face of this team, and I'm expected to go out and do media, and I'm expected to always be doing the right thing and be on my game and lead these guys. And in some cases, these guys are 18 years old and brand new to a campus. First time they've ever lived away from mom and dad. So I think there's been a lot of valuable leadership lessons and just life lessons that and coming back that he maybe wouldn't have gotten had he left.
It's something else when you just all of a sudden you look around and you go, okay, I think I'm starting to get this now. I am in charge. I have to lead. I am representing, all that type of stuff. All right, hit the vote on the quarterbacks that we were just talking about during the break, because Beck and Ewers are kind of the two guys that people are trying to sort out and figure out who's better among them. And they had the vote. Of course, when you came out with the official media vote, Carson Beck was first team all SEC quarterback. What was the other one we were looking at?
It was On 3 Sports. So it's from Jesse Simonton, who covers National College Football for On 3. And he was walking around polling some of the writers at the league. He asked me, and I looked at him like he was crazy. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Carson Beck." So Carson Beck is the far and away at 31 votes. Quinn Ewers is second at 8 votes. Jackson Dart, third, 5 votes. Jalen Milroe tied for third, 5 votes.
So what I kind of
and
find,
Brady Cook 1 vote.
And Brady Cook's really, really good. But what I kind of find interesting, Denny, is that as good as Quinn Ewers was, it might be a knock against him that when you get to that critical game, the Washington game, college football playoff, which unfortunately Georgia was not part of, he had some blips on the radar, and that may be a neg against him. He had a pretty good year, just wasn't in that moment as good as he wanted to be.
Yeah, that list will look a lot differently, not because these guys won't perform, but because you start looking across the league at guys like Taylor Green at Arkansas. You look at Nuss in Baton Rouge, Connor Weigman, who both Matt and I are super high on at Texas A&M. Jackson Arnold, we were talking about the break at Oklahoma.
Don't be afraid to mention Mertz anytime.
Yeah, well, Mertz, of course. Mertz played last year. I'm really, if you go through that.
He was impressive at SEC media.
Mertz is always, Mertz is, I think I texted you this, like, it's just a very wise guy.
Yeah.
Like, he is a guy that you want running your locker room and running your offense. But he played last year. All those guys that I just named are brand new and insanely talented. I know Connor got a couple games.
Yeah, Wigman definitely, if he was not hurt, had a hell of a strong.
Probably could have saved Jimbo's
hell of a
job,
strong
too.
performance.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I enjoy when he's in town because he's not the prettiest thrower, but he's got that baseball background. He's a competitor. He's super twitchy and sudden. And man, when those lights go on, he's just a different dude.
So, dude, explain that baseball background thing. Why is that so important?
Well, a number of different reasons. When we think of baseball and we think of quarterbacks, sometimes we think of like pitchers, but that's not it. It's middle infield. It's hitting. It's things like that. Things that have a clock on it, right? Like I have to swing. I have to time this up and swing. And so a lot of your lower body mechanics, your sequencing, is the same. And so if you grew up playing baseball and you grew up throwing something,
right, then
it's easier to get to a lot of the throws that you have to go to. If you grew up only throwing a football, I mean, remember Carson, since we've been talking about him, was committed to Florida as a freshman in baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
Right? Like if you grew up and your arm's just used to making plays and going from different angles and having to at times, go a slow to fast or something like that to get somebody out or to hit a ball, you just have, I think, an inherent advantage. And you see that in the way that guys play, and I think it shows in Connor's, because Connor was a very high-level baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to say, like one of the top 5 in his position in the country type of guy. So you see it in this game, and I can't wait for him to get healthy and just be able to stay out there for a while.
One thing you said was he has a unique throwing motion. Do you tinker with that?
No, as long as it's safe and it's healthy and the sequencing's good and he's getting the power where he needs to pull from. I mean, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we're good. Not everybody should look the same throwing.
Yeah, I agree.
We're all built differently, right? And so not everybody's going to look the same. But he's one of those guys where when the game comes on and everything just needs to speed up, it just magically looks natural.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's faster. Everything has to get through faster, and it just kind of falls into place. And he just makes play. I saw it at the Manning camp. It was actually super interesting because I couldn't tell who he was. There's like 60 of them down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, this kid just kind of rolls out and just pops one. Who is that? And I look down, it's Connor. Mm-hmm. And it just looked different because he does have that baseball background. He is a great athlete, like an amazing athlete.
Right.
So if he stays healthy, I think he could find himself in a conversation as one of the top 3 guys in the league as well.
Mike Elko may be a good defensive coach, but he immediately put Riley Leonard in a situation to succeed up at Duke, and I can see him do the same thing. He's gonna find an offense that fits his quarterback. All right, real quick. 94th overall was Trevor Lawrence in the NFL top 100. Doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot, but make a prediction. How many spots further up the top 100 is Trevor next year?
I mean, if he does what he needs to do and should do, then Trevor should live in the top 40 on that list.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at skill set, attributes, and what people I think generally assume about him, if he performs, he should live in that top 40. I don't think there's 93. I get it. I understand. I don't think there's 93 better players than Trevor in the NFL. I think if you were going to have a legitimate draft of every NFL player, he's not going 93rd.
Oh, God, no.
Right? Yeah. I just think, listen, Trevor just needs to do what he needs to do, and he knows what he needs to do. They just need to win football games.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have to worry about stats. He don't have to worry about anything. They're going to run that offense through him. Make good decisions. Be on time with the ball. Make sure your guys are at the right places. And I think you're a 11, 12-win football team with the roster that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't care nothing about no rankings.
No.
Nah.
You got that check.
Yeah. First of all, you got the money. All right. Now you just got to deliver. That's it.
You get a ring?
You get a ring.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, I think part of him might be a little annoyed by it.
By what, the ranking?
Yes, of course, which is good.
Play with a little anger.
I know you don't buy that. I know you don't. But I think kids these days, they're so like, wow, what's the best way to say this? Thin-skinned because of social media, because they have to be, he's not one of these guys. You can tell that. But they grow up in this environment now where it's all look at me, look at me, look at me. And if somebody says you're number 98 in the league, I think that motivates somebody.
We talked about this last week. I do think there's a fair amount of guys who are motivated by doubters and by doubt in them. I think that's healthy. I don't really see him as one of those, though. I see Trevor as a guy that understands that he just needs to worry about Trevor.
I don't know. He kept receipts. Remember, he tweeted that out.
Yeah, but
we keep receipts.
Yeah, I mean, were you that guy, Leon? Can you still remember people who told you weren't going to make it?
Of course. Yeah, I called one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now imagine if you grew up and played in the social media age.
And that is where you
imagine now if you grew up and played in social media age.
Yeah.
But did Trevor Trevor was always that guy, right? Like ever since high school, he was always.
I don't disagree,
that guy.
But he clearly said, "I'm keeping receipts" in that tweet.
I hope
he absolutely did.
I'm here for that, Trevor.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
So am I.
No.
Play angry. Play angry.
I'm all for it.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it as always. Denny_Thompson on X 6 points quarterback whisperer right here on XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Florida State. Subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel, up-to-the-minute updates, analysis, and more. Plant the spear and subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles channel today.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're from the South, you know all about fried green tomatoes and BLTs, so put some South in your mouth and get to Bono's to try the fried green tomatoes appetizer served with Reggie Ranch and one-of-a-kind Bono's BLT with smoked brisket, lettuce, and fried green tomatoes served with one southern side. Frank Frangie here, and I'm telling you, I love fried green tomatoes, and this sandwich is out of sight. So head to your local Bono's today. The fried green tomatoes appetizer and BLT is a summer sensation. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Nick in here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 22nd, 1923, Washington Senators' future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Walter Johnson becomes the first to reach 3,000 career strikeout milestone.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Ross, I'm thinking about changing my name.
Again? You're already the media mogul, the straw that stirs the drink, the Duke of Pablo Bay. Now what?
Refer to me as Dreamfinders Danny Hicken.
What in the blazes? Is this a cash grab?
No, it's just that I believe so much in Dreamfinders Homes. 20 locations in Northeast Florida, official home builder of Jags and Gators. Great opportunity for first-time homeowners.
All right. Dreamfinders Danny it is.
Did I mention the lowest interest rates you can find? Visit dreamfindershomes.com. Now let Dreamfinders Danny celebrate through the majesty of song. Dreamfinders, I believe they will build your home just right.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Catch all the interviews and analysis of this year's ACC kickoff.
Sold out crowd, Doak Campbell Stadium.
Coverage on 1010XL is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Local Union 234, and Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
There it goes. See ya into the left field bleachers. One swing, and the crowd is energized, and the Yankees are energized, and it's 5-3 Rays.
Ohtani, right field, forget about it. A massive shot. Wow. 473 feet for Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers' 5th home run of the night.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty good stuff. Both sides of the ledger with home runs, be it in the American League or the National League. And Aaron Judge just keeps sending them out of the yard. But there was a 470-foot blast from Shohei. It was something else. First in the National League to reach 30 home runs. 4th straight season for the show with 30 home runs. And they got it done last night. Ended up sweeping the Red Sox. But good stuff. Thanks to American Electrical. You can definitely check them out. They are powered by professionalism. If you want to light up your world, make sure you check out American-Electrical.com. All right, so let's get back to a couple of things in the college world, since we were talking with our quarterback whisperer just a minute ago about the guys that could be stepping up, making things happen. We mentioned Mike Elko and what he was able to do with Riley Leonard last year, or excuse me, really the last 2 years, okay, because Riley Leonard had himself a good run under Mike Elko up in Durham. And he gets a guy, Connor Wigman, who we were trying to figure out, exactly what the ceiling is for this cat, but he could be one of the guys that we're talking about at the end of this season when it's all said and done.
I don't think there's any question. No, by the way, real quick, I got to throw this out there. Florida State reports tonight. Tonight, Florida State is on the field in 1 month for week 0 against Georgia Tech and Ireland. Think about that. That's how close we are. And JoJo, week from Thursday is a Hall of Fame game in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens
Football
fast, dude.
is here, man.
I don't remember what it was, but one of the guys that we talked about that sent the message out, is it something in the neighborhood of a week or so ago that there was only 1 or 2 more Sundays where you were going to be without football. And then once that Hall of Fame game gets here, you're going to go through about, 25 of them.
And
all said and done.
that lengthy, what seems like a long horizon ahead, it's not close to the horizon that Jim Phillips has laid out for Florida State.
Yeah.
RJ, hit this real quick.
There are limits to what I can say, but I can state that we will fight to protect the ACC and our members for as long as it takes. We are confident in this league and that it will remain a premier conference in college athletics for the long-term future. These disputes continue to be extremely damaging, disruptive, and incredibly harmful to the league, as well as overshadowing our student athletes and the incredible successes taking place on the field and within the conference.
You know what that is? That's Jim Phillips saying, you want out? We want $572 million from you.
Well, you know what else it is? It's Jim Phillips when he walks off the stage and he gets behind the curtain. He said, do you think they bought it? Because I just tried to tell everybody this is the best damn conference in the country, and guess what? It ain't.
He also said, oh, by the way, that everyone in the conference not only signed the grant of rights, but signed it twice. Yeah. Not once, but twice.
Anyway, it cracks me up. Look, you can sit there and you can throw darts all day long. You've got a problem, pal. You've got a problem. Let's make this the 10-10 take, RJ, because honestly, Phillips right now is hoping like hell people are buying his act.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Medicine man just rolled into town trying to sell you some magic potion and telling you it's the greatest ever. You ain't got no hair. You take this, you'll have hair by the time I'm gone. And yeah, he'll take your money and he'll be out of town. Jim Phillips is trying to convince you that what did we call it? A crap conference,
any coast conference,
the Clemson Invitational, all coast conference, any coast conference, it doesn't matter, that this is the best thing going. Are you kidding me? I read the ACC Points of Pride every week in my email inbox, and it tells me how great they are, and I'm still scratching my head like, wait a minute, I don't see that, okay? They've got a problem, financial problem, and they have one team that's railing against them and making them look like that's the bad guy, and they're the good guys, and they know they've got a big problem. He knows it wasn't that long ago that the Pac-12 became the San Andreas fault of college football and just fell off into the Pacific. And if he's not careful, he'll fall off into the Atlantic. That's the 10-10 take.
Well, there's a huge difference between those two.
Yeah.
The first and foremost, the Pac-12 didn't have a media rights deal. Yeah. They were done.
I know, but look,
they had no media rights deal.
Do you know how tired people are of hearing about the media rights?
No, but I know what you're saying, and I get it, and it's inside baseball, but it's really not. It's how your league functions. It's
I know.
It's where you get your money from. The Pac-12 didn't have a deal. Their contract was up, and no one was going to give them a deal. I think Apple offered them like 20 cents on the dollar from what they were getting prior.
Which
so
is bad.
They had nothing. The ACC has the deal, and furthermore, what the ACC has is what's happened in the last couple of weeks where you're getting these stories about, guess what? Big Ten doesn't want Florida State, okay? So unless the ACC implodes, and the ACC is not going to implode unless 4 or 5 teams leave. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Enter this in as evidence, okay? Because this is what happens. Everybody says something until it's not true, and as long as you can keep saying it until it's not true, you can keep saying it. Big Ten said they had no interest in Washington and Oregon.
It's not true.
Okay.
By the way, that's
Who
not true.
is in their conference right now?
That's not true, by the way.
Okay. Who is in their conference? Okay. And by the way, there's no way they would have said they're interested in them before they.
Well, they can't now because it would be considered torturous interference, and legally they could have a problem. There's no doubt about that, obviously. But you can also if people are saying this to other people off the record, you can read the tea leaves.
Yeah.
That's why I think Jim Phillips is sounding so strong right now, because he knows
he's panicking.
He knows he has the upper hand. Florida State is in his conference. The only way Florida State's getting out is if they win the legal cases, which are dragging on right now, or they pay $572 million. And if they pay $572, you know what he's going to do? Hey, Clemson. Hey, North Carolina. Hey, Virginia. It's going to be yours. You guys share that. You and Miami, and you stay here in this conference.
Which, by the way, again,
and then what does Florida State do? Go to the Big 12?
This is what I laugh at.
And make less money.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're going to the Big 12 would not be a great situation. The only way that they would have to do that is if, again, they lost everything and they just basically had to cut tail and leave. But at the same time, they're taking the risk for the reward. But the other thing that cracks me up is that we're sitting there talking about, I'm going to give this money to the others if they leave. Go ahead and pay your fine. They didn't want to give it to them before. They said we are all equal in this conference.
Right, they didn't see the writing on the wall now.
Which makes me laugh my butt off. That then, oh no, we can't do that. That
was before Florida State took them to court, Joe. Now it's their literal existence is at stake right now.
This is what cracks me up. Honestly, it does.
Of course it does. Of course they're going to do that.
Yeah.
They don't want to be pushed into a situation until they have to be pushed into a situation. Guess what? Now they've been forced into this situation. If for some reason Florida State said, all right, look, let's have some cooler heads. Let's go back to the table and talk about revenue sharing. The ACC would do it like that immediately, and they could figure it out and everybody be happy. But they're just 2-year-olds right now barking at each other is all they are.
I know that we're not at the end of it. That's for sure. And every single time we think we are, we're proven wrong. But there's still this at least chatter, smoke, whatever it might be, that there's still going to be something else that's going to happen.
Well, call their bluff. Let them wander. Let them walk out there and see what happens.
They won't get any money.
They're not going to get that far. They'll get to the Big 12 where they're going to make like $6-7 million less a year.
Yeah.
That's the price you pay.
Yeah. And they were, a long, long time ago, operate under that independent. And there's only one team right now that has proven the independent model works, and it's Notre Dame because of the heritage. The text
line. Know your facts. The Big 12 is more money than the ACC. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's less money than the ACC.
Well, it's so funny because if you start adding certain things up, the ACC can offer them a certain amount in a financial package, but the distribution that they've had has not been nearly as successful. And so they're still fighting to prove that they have more money to pay their
they do have more money. It's in their contract with ESPN. They're making $40 million per. The Big 12's making about 32.
Yeah.
So they have more money. I don't know what else to say. It's in the actual contract. If you want to read it, you can read the contract.
Yeah, and we should remind everybody, the Big 12 was in this desperate situation. That's why CF, Cincinnati, all these other schools are now part of the Big 12.
Right.
And they were, and by the way, let's just point this one out as well. They were desperate, and they invited these schools in, and then the Pac-12 fell apart, and here comes Utah.
Well, and the ACC added Stanford and Cal.
Here comes Arizona State. Here comes Colorado.
Because if they get to under a certain amount of teams, the ESPN can nullify the deal.
Yeah.
So they added Stanford and Cal and SMU for that reason. So Florida State can leave, and Clemson can leave, and guess what? ESPN's still got to pay them.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big L. For the ACC.
Yeah, there's a lot. Believe me, there's a lot.
Lost Clemson and Florida State and gained Cal and
There's a lot of moving parts to this, okay? Yeah. And it's more than just what you guys are seeing. Like ESPN does not want to pay the ACC after Clemson and Florida State leave if they leave. Yeah. Also, ESPN is not going to pay the SEC to add Florida State and Clemson because they don't want Florida State in that league because of what they've done to the ACC.
They also don't want to give any more money away than the money they're already giving to their people. All right, RJ, we the people right now.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
My takeaway is this week for training camp. Looking forward to the Cam Robertson Walker Little battle. It's going to be a very intriguing, interesting battle. We'll be taking notes every day at practice. Can't wait for it.
My takeaway is stop acting like babies. Just get together in a room and figure this thing out and do revenue sharing and be done with this. This is stupid. All of this is just dumb.
Yeah, me thinks that ain't going to happen. My takeaway is you mentioned camp is just a few days away, and then all I heard was Cam. And I went fan cam, chili.
Oh, right.
And I cannot wait. It's coming. I cannot wait. the annual training camp kickoff, as Fan Cam has designated it, with that chili, and I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure. All right, we are done. We say thanks to Mocama Beer Company. They are all over. If you're looking for great craft, all you got to do is go to any one of your ABC or Total Wine. Just look for Mocama on the craft shelves, or you can head up to beautiful Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street, and you'll check them out. Their original tap room, great place to hang out. You get coffee every day, craft Tuesday through Sunday, and Wildlight as well with their satellite brewery there. Check them out, Mocama Beer Company. We're done. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ will keep it rolling tomorrow, a day closer to training camp.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.